There are a lot of rural areas that are beginning to use wild boar farming as a model for agriculture because it delivers high economic efficiency. There are wild qualities associated with wild boars. Tender meat that is low in fat. As a result, the market is favorable toward them, particularly in restaurants that specialize in a particular cuisine, or high-end processed products like salted hog meat. The raising of wild boars, on the other hand, necessitates more stringent methods and care procedures than the raising of domestic pigs. It will bring about extremely high levels of efficiency if it is done correctly. And last, in relation to the breed of wild boar. It is common practice for farmers to breed hybrid wild boars, which are a cross between purebred wild boars and domestic pigs. This is done in order to preserve the majority of the beneficial biological qualities of wild boars, such as high resistance, omnivorous diet, and good adaptability to the environment, while still maintaining a growing rate that is reasonably rapid. The pigs are kept in a manner that is semi-wild manner. In order to prevent pigs from escaping, the barn needs to be designed not only to be big and airy, but also to have firm ground or gravel and to be encircled by fences. In order to maintain the right density, each pen typically contains no more than 5 to 10 pigs. Vegetables, banana stems, corn bran, soybeans, rice bran, and an assortment of fresh grasses, including elephant grass and lemongrass, are the primary sources of nutrition for wild boars. These foods contribute to the production of meat that is both flavorful and firm. Under no circumstances should you consume any industrial foods that contain growth boosters. Wild boars have received all of the vaccinations necessary to protect them from diseases such as cholera, anthrax, and foot and mouth disease. There is a period of time between 8 and 12 months before the animal is sold. Between 40 and 70 kilograms is the typical weight of each individual pig. A unique sweet flavor can be found in the flesh, which is also low in fat and lean. In the event that wild boars are purchased, they will be transported to conventional processing plants in order to be processed into salted pork, which is one of the most well-liked high-end items. The plant maintains stringent control over the processing process from the point of receiving raw materials to the end of the operation. The process begins with cleaning and continues with salting and ripening. Following the cleanup process, the pig will be sliced by hand into several pieces, including the belly, the rump, the shoulder, and so on. Our quality control team will examine each individual piece of beef. In addition to ensuring hygiene, excess fat and tendons are removed. The meat is then marinated with pure sea salt and traditional spices such as pepper, garlic, makmat leaves, cardamom, cinnamon, star anise, and so on. The specific recipe for each factory determines the other spices that are used in the marinating process. In order for the salt and spices to be able to infiltrate each and every fiber of the meat, the marinating procedure is allowed to extend anywhere from 5 to 7 days in a chilly atmosphere. Following that, the meat is moved to a closed chamber that has temperature and humidity levels that are closely controlled in order to begin the drying or light smoking step, respectively. The flesh is made more durable and firmer as a result of this. The completed salted pork has a glossy reddish-brown color, a rich aroma, a moderate amount of saltiness, and a pleasant aftertaste. It can be preserved for a long time in cool conditions or vacuumed. Frequently, the product is packaged in a vacuum. Through the use of a traceability mark that extends from the farm to the factory, so as to guarantee consumers both prestige and quality. The salted pork made from wild boar is currently gaining popularity as a high-end specialty. In addition to catering to the home market, the company also exports its products to a number of countries that have a preference for traditional meals, such as Japan, Korea, and European nations. Processing plants frequently implement production management systems that are in accordance with HACCP or ISO 22000 standards in order to guarantee that each batch of salted pork is of a quality that is consistent with the others. At every stage, from the raw materials to the finished goods, we assist in the management of food safety and hygiene concerns. The temperature and humidity are continuously monitored by sensors throughout the salting process. Additionally, the technical team will occasionally take samples for microbiological testing in order to guarantee that the product is free of germs and satisfies the requirements for food safety. During the process of processing salted pork, the amount of time spent ripening and experiencing light fermentation is an essential component. The flavor of the flesh is improved by this process, which also makes the meat more fragrant and soft, while at the same time preserving the typical firm texture of wild boar meat. Natural fermentation technology, which is derived from beneficial microbes, is utilized by certain manufacturing facilities in order to enhance the nutritional content of their products and produce a distinctive flavor that is difficult to confuse. Immediately following the fermentation process, the meat can be subjected to additional drying at temperatures ranging from 45 to 55 degrees Celsius in order to get the humidity down to the appropriate level. In most cases, the percentage is lower than 15%, which helps to extend the preservation method to several months. When it comes to packaging, great care is also paid to the stage. The completed meat will be packaged in quantities ranging from 200 grams to 1 kilogram, with the exact amount being determined by the consumer market. The packaging is made of high-quality materials that are resistant to ultraviolet light, can tolerate cold storage, and are able to keep the flavor intact. On the package, there is a QR code that allows customers to track the entire production process, beginning with the pig farm and ending with the date of slaughter, meat salt formula, and the date of its packaging. In addition, there are factories that print labels in accordance with the particular criteria of import partners. This is particularly true for international retail chains that have extremely stringent policies about transparency and food standards. With modern consumer trends that emphasize clean food, transparent origin, and traditional flavors, wild boar salted pork is frequently used in recipes such as charcoal grilled meat, deep fried, stir-fried with wild veggies, or served with bread and wine. These variations are all examples of dishes that make use of wild boar. Products made from wild boar salted pork are increasingly establishing themselves as a powerful brand, which is helping to contribute to the growth of the value of local livestock husbandry. Chain linkage is a strategy that ensures constant output, helps farmers feel secure in production, and creates jobs for a large number of rural workers. This model also promotes sustainable agricultural economic development. Farms and processing factories are closely connected together according to the chain linkage model. Several processing plants have expanded their operations to include the production of new value-added product lines derived from wild boar, such as wild boar sausage, ham, dried pork, pate, or canned meat. This is in addition to the production of traditional salted pork. These goods not only broaden the range of options available to customers, but they also contribute to the optimization of the utilization of raw materials, the reduction of waste, and the enhancement of economic efficiency throughout the whole production chain. Specifically, sausages made from wild boar meat are currently experiencing a surge in popularity in major urban areas. When consumers are looking for a product that is convenient, has a flavor that is unique, and ensures their health, the processing of these products still adheres to the fundamental principle of preserving the wild flavor of wild boar, minimizing the use of industrial additives, and instead utilizing natural ingredients such as black pepper, shallots, ginger, and traditional fish sauce to create a flavor that is characteristically aromatic, spicy, and rich. In addition, certain establishments are responsible for the production of freeze-dried salted pork products, which are then exported to high-end markets that have extremely stringent criteria regarding safety, hygiene, and traceability. Businesses are increasingly concentrating their attention not only on the quality of the product, but also on the brand and the story that are linked with the breeding land. Many wild boar farms are situated in mountainous regions, which are chosen as tourist attractions because of their fresh climate and abundant foliage. These regions are also known for their abundance of wild boar. Visitors not only have an understanding of the process of pig farming, but they also have the opportunity to personally sample dishes that are prepared using wild boar meat, which helps to promote the culture of the area and increases the value of the product. There are many communities that have capabilities in clean agriculture, and the development of a model that combines livestock farming, processing, and tourism is opening up a new way for them. These days, processing factories are more than just production sites. They have evolved into hubs for the development of regional specialty products, which is progressively leading to the establishment of a national brand for Vietnamese cuisine. In the future, the livestock farming and processing business will become a driving force in the rural economy, bringing products from the mountains and forests to the worldwide market. This will be possible if the industry receives the necessary amount of investment and is supported by laws that are more appropriate. The management of quality throughout the chain, from the farm to the table, is becoming an increasingly important priority for businesses as a result of the application of digital technologies and production. Farms that raise wild boars have sensors that are immediately connected to the central management software. These sensors monitor temperature, humidity, and the health of the pigs. This allows the farmers to swiftly handle any aberrant indicators. In addition, global positioning system, GPS devices, and security cameras are utilized in order to keep an eye on transportation activities and safeguard livestock habitats, particularly during epidemics. In order to document the complete history of each batch of products, certain units inside the processing plant are testing out blockchain technology as a pioneering initiative. From the moment the pig is born, the vaccination schedule, the salting formula, and the fermentation time are all encoded and stored, so providing consumers and distribution partners with complete and total transparency. In situations when food traceability is extremely high, such as when exporting to the European market or bringing items to huge retail chains, this is an exceptionally helpful information to have. There is also the preservation and distribution stage, which is another component that contributes to the value of salted wild boar meat. Following the packing process, the product is placed in a contemporary cold storage facility where it is kept at a temperature ranging from 0 to 4 degrees Celsius in order to maintain its original flavor and freshness. If the product is delivered to market, it is transported by refrigerated vehicles that are specifically designed for that purpose. This ensures that the cold chain is not disrupted in any way. The goods are deep frozen and shipped by refrigerated containers to faraway markets such as Europe, Japan, or Korea. Additionally, they are accompanied by thorough hygiene and quarantine inspection records, as well as international quality certificates. Not only does the quality of the product contribute to the success of the wild boar farming model, combined with the processing of salted meat, but it also contributes to the sustainability of the link between the various parties involved, including breeders, processing facilities, distributors, management agencies, and customers. In order to establish an ecosystem that is capable of producing clean, sustainable agricultural products and maintaining long-term competitiveness in both domestic and international markets, each link in the value chain plays a significant role and contributes to one another. A growing number of highland and midland regions are increasingly adopting this strategy as a result of the potential that is available from natural conditions and the experience that has been gained through traditional farming. Farmers are involved in not only the production of goods, but also in the processing and consumption of those goods. there is a significant increase in economic value that is many times more than that of farming on a smaller scale. This is the way to assist people in escaping poverty in a sustainable manner, to maintain the identity of the local community, and to grow agriculture in a modern direction that is favorable to the environment in order to assure stable and long-term development. For the purpose of consolidating resources, bringing together technological procedures, and establishing connections with processing factories, numerous communities have organized cooperatives or farm unions that are dedicated to the raising of wild boars. Not only do these cooperative models make it easier for farmers to obtain preferential financing, high-quality breeds, and modern techniques, but they also establish a collective voice for farmers to use when negotiating selling prices with purchasing corporations or supermarkets. In addition to this, training programs on cattle farming in accordance with VEDGAP standards, organic farming, and digital transformation in agriculture are periodically arranged to assist farmers in improving their abilities, lowering their production costs, and reducing the danger of disease. Not only does the use of herbs and natural bran as a substitute for antibiotics in cattle production help improve the quality of the meat, but it also satisfies the ever-increasing demand for environmentally friendly and clean consumption that is occurring all over the world. Wild boar meat that has been salted and comes from farms that adhere to high standards typically has a fresh color, a natural crunchiness, and a characteristic sweet taste. This type of meat is highly popular in specialty restaurants and hotels that are considered to be quite luxurious. Additionally, certain companies have made investments in the development of salted wild boar brands that are associated with regional identities, such as salted wild boar from the idea of the because to its appealing packaging and distinctive cultural narratives. The product has been able to establish a strong presence in the market for high-end presents, particularly during the holiday season or as gifts for businesses. These items are frequently packaged in wooden boxes, printed with sophistication, and accompanied by cards that introduce the origin of the product as well as instructions on how to enjoy it. This helps to establish a powerful impression on customers and contributes to the enhancement of the value of the product. In addition, many restaurants are coming up with innovative ways to incorporate salted pig into new recipes that have a contemporary culinary style. Some examples of these new dishes are salted pork pizza, salted pork salad, and salted pork and wild vegetable sandwiches. The integration of contemporary with tradition serves to broaden the customer base, particularly among younger people and tourists from other countries who are interested in having one-of-a-kind culinary experiences and who appreciate cultural richness. Within the context of the world's transition toward a circular agricultural model that is more environmentally friendly, the development of wild boar farming combined with deep processing, such as salted meat, ham, and dried sausages, not only helps increase product value, but also contributes to reducing waste of resources. This is accomplished by making the most of byproducts from farming and processing, such as fertilizer, animal feed, or biological materials. In order for the traditional domestic cattle business to evolve into a contemporary, professional, and internationally integrated production, this is the path that should be taken. Cooperatives or farm unions that specialize in the raising of wild boars have been established in various areas in order to assure stable and long-term development. These organizations have been founded in order to concentrate resources, standardize technical procedures, and establish connections with processing factories. This type of cooperative model not only makes it easier for farmers to obtain preferential financing, high-quality breeds, and modern techniques, but it also creates a single voice for farmers to use when negotiating selling prices with purchasing corporations or supermarkets. In addition to this, training programs on cattle farming in accordance with VEDGAP standards, organic farming and digital transformation in agriculture are periodically arranged to assist farmers in improving their abilities, lowering their production costs, and reducing the danger of disease. Not only does the use of herbs and natural bran as a substitute for antibiotics in cattle production help improve the quality of the meat, but it also satisfies the ever-increasing demand for environmentally friendly and clean consumption that is occurring all over the world. Wild boar meat that has been salted and comes from farms that adhere to high standards typically has a fresh color, a natural crunchiness, and a characteristic sweet taste. This type of meat is highly popular in specialty restaurants and hotels that are considered to be quite luxurious. A number of companies have also made investments in the development of salted wild boar brands that are connected with regional identities. For example, salted wild boar from the Northwest, salted wild boar from Kontum, and salted wild boar from Quang Binh are all examples of such brands. A foothold in the high-end gift market has been gained by the product as a result of the combination of product quality, attractive packaging, and a distinctive cultural narrative. This is especially prevalent during the holiday season or when the product is given as a corporate present. These items are frequently packaged in wooden boxes, printed with sophistication, and accompanied by cards that introduce the origin of the product, as well as instructions on how to enjoy it. This helps to establish a powerful impression on customers and contributes to the enhancement of the value of the product.